Extra, read all about it. Welcome back to MUFC Realist TV with an extra inserted podcast to actually break down what's coming out from Bloomberg and David Hellier's today. An article, absolutely 3 days after the follow up of the article, suggesting that Sir Jim Rattcliffe is still in the race. But 3 days ago, there was a created story with Ben Jacobs to say that, Sir Sheikh Jassim might increase his bid from 5 to 6 billion. And on the back of this today, we see a story that Sir Jim Rattcliffe apparently will not give up. He's kind of restructuring his bid this late in the process. So, guys, I want to take a moment as a community, as a voice of reasoning for you that have been following this podcast, been doing numerous of podcasts regarding analyzing what the media is saying. Who's right, who's wrong, ain't matter. At the end of the day, what we're here for is to get the Glazers out. Glazers out, full sale only. That's what we're here for. So big up to all of you that is kind of joining this extra podcast. I will not try to make it a lengthy one, so I can see you all in the house here as well. And like I can see you in the chat room, but I will say big up to all of you that's tuning in. Don't forget to smash and like. I'll read out to the chat as well. I can see Jarvis is in the house. I see Carlos here, Mark is here, Audio Marks, and all of you. So we should just dive right into the stories as I've been making some phone calls, been analyzing the news and what's out there in the ether. At the end of the day, it comes down to, I don't know, I'm just feeling a little bit lost and confused. But not really lost and confused. Starting off with this article today, basically you have to kind of pay for reading this article. If we go back in timeline, as I did a video, I think it was yesterday as well, to say that you go back in timeline and you can read what Araban Sen was saying. You can check out this video that was posted yesterday, that Sheikh Jassim was given the exclusivity, was granted, the bid was over 6 to 7 billion. And now you get this, little do I know, I'd refuse to pay for articles like this. So I've had some friendly souls within this community that actually, unfortunately, had to pay for this article to read. But here you can clearly see you have to click on it to pay. And I have to zoom in. And this has been written again by the same journalist. It is Giles Turner and David Hellier, and coincidentally, the same David Hellier sits in UK as well, to say that Manchester United billionaire Jim Rattcliffe revoke Manchester United bid to revive takeover hopes. He looks to address concerns on bid terms, sources say. Offers from Qatari Group and other investors still considered. Well, depends on what kind of sources you have. I mean, obviously this must then come from the club side of it, or it must come from the Ineos side of it, because if you back the tape and you remember clearly that Sir Jim Rattcliffe said he will not overpay for anything that he doesn't think is worth, right? So if we are now up in the 6 billion mark or 7 billion, that's way over Sir Jim Ratcliffe's evaluation. And also the legal challenges from the Bowen Group, Lindsay Train, Arias, the 31 minority investors, or 30%, whatever that might be. So let's just look at it. So for me, you just find it odd on the back of the biggest protest as well. If you remember this, this was on the back of this story that came out yesterday when the Buccaneers had a joint protest in Tampa, right? The Buccaneers and the Manchester United organized something huge protest for the Glazers out. That was yesterday. And on the back of this, you get a story leaking out like this. The Sir Jim Rattcliffe is in the race. Isn't it a little bit of a coincidence to silence the people, to sort of make us happy again? No matter if it's Sir Jim Rattcliffe or if it's Sheikh Jassim, just keep that happiness going, the endorphins. Yep. This was yesterday coming out. The MUFC fans from Pittsburgh and Tampa supporters group organized a banner to fly over the Raymond James Stadium. This is massive, where the Glazers own. Tampa Bay Buccaneers played last evening. Thanks to the organizer of sharing this video with us. Great work. Glazers out 100%. Now, all right. Buccaneers are in trouble, financial trouble. They're sick of the Glazers. The voices are spreading. Glazers don't like that. It's going to hurt them. Buccaneers is something that they really care about is AFL football. This is what they know. They also know finances, according to my opinion. They know how to play games as well, and they know how to leak out stories to the media. I want to take it back also to Adam Bansen. And by the way, Reuters, you don't have to pay clicks. Don't have to pay subscriptions to read the articles. It's free there because they're sponsored by advertisement. So in a way, that gives me a little bit of a notion that a similar vibe feeling like the Athletic, that you have to sort of read the article, and when you read it, it's a nothing burger. And I want us to sort of depack it together. Is what we're going to do here. I can see you all in the chat room. You can see I will sort of address everyone in the chat later on, but I just want to go over these stories, and then together we can discuss as well, if that's okay with you. So I want to start by diving into this story, if we don't mind. I want to do this, people. Bear with me, loading up to the scene. I want to go over this. Came up to Twitter as well. And I had to break it down because if you read this, I find it very remarkable, what I said here, back on this story that billionaire Jim Rattcliffe revokes his kind of restructuring offer to buy United PLC. People with knowledge of the matter said, people with the knowledge of this matter said, who are those people? In attempt to break the deadlock in a long-running takeover saga. Can it be that he's spoken to the Muppeteers? Can it be that he's spoken to anyone with the knowledge of this matter? He could have spoken to me as well, who has extensively good knowledge of this matter. I will definitely read it and analyze it, but I find it kind of remarkable what I tweeted just an hour ago, that you have to pay to read this article in the first place. How much is this a PR game from Ineos side, and how many subscribers did actually this story generate from Bloomberg? That's what I started to say. I feel sorry for people that bought the subscription to actually read this article, and therefore I thank the person that sent me the whole article so I can analyze it, because I will never pay for such an article. News should be free to people, not to be paid subscription, if you know what I mean. So Reuters and Aaron Ben Senden, back in about 3 months ago, broke the story that 92 Holding had reached an agreement with 92 Holding Foundation and exclusivity. You can go back to the timeline video that I did yesterday. And excuse me, I have to sort of silence my mobile phone, so I'm getting a lot of notifications. They haven't really updated any tweets or, constantly getting this gravy train clickbait going. Reuters is a respected financial organization as well, a newspaper. And they stood the grounds even if they were challenged by the British apparatus and the media and everything else. And they backed up the story, Aaron Benson, if you guys remember as well. It's well documented on Twitter. It's well documented if you Google it as well. So they have no dog in the fight here. So I think also that it is a little bit too late to come into the process to restructure a bit, in my opinion, what I say here. So I feel sorry for anyone that paid this article. So we're going to read into this article as well, cool and composed, the way we do on this channel, applying logic and reasoning. First and foremost, I said with nothing. Number one, I call it a nothing burger. You probably can't read the screen, so I'm going to read it out to you people. I call it a nothing burger because if you actually read the article and then you kind of read the story, I would just say that this is absolutely scaremonger tactics, to be honest, right? It's considered by the club as well. Like it's just rumbles and words. It's been almost, it's just recycling words. I mean, this is the Qatari wants to buy the group outright. Ratcliffe previous offer could allow certain members of the Glazer family, including Joel Avram, to stay. The same stories. Nothing new. And basically what Ratcliffe has said, we have a good offer on the table. He's a lifelong Manchester United fan. Reiterated. He even stated that in July. But he also said This is the first and final offer. Take it or leave it. Like I won't overpay. Right. So this has produced a lot of stream of reports, and a lot of publications has gained a lot of wealth out of you know running such as stories. Point number two is, I said here, it's recycling for me. If anything else, I would suggest that this is a prop. I repeat, a prop. So if you go back to this story here that was published about 3 days ago, the same David Hellier had a podcast with Ben Jacobs where they were discussing, Sheikh Jassim's bid could increase. Manchester United takeover expert Ben Jacobs. Again, since when is a sports journalist a takeover expert? Thinks that Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Thani could improve the 5 billion bid. Thinks he could. Okay? Now we get a story like this. 3 days later, Sheikh Jassim, now it's Sir Jim Rattcliffe, and then you had the protest. Do you see how we can connect the dots here, people? Do you see that? At the end of the day, I think it's a recycling news the way I see it. It's basically saying Ratcliffe put forward a proposal earlier this year to acquire 69% shares of the Manchester United owned by the Glazer family. Yes. That left a little bit benefit of the holders of the remaining stock, including Lindsay Train, Ariel Investment, and Eminence Capital. We actually been doing this podcast for quite a while, and we've been saying that even what Bloomberg has been reporting to say that the top three shareholders has sent a letter and challenging this to their Class A shareholders. They are challenging this with legal repercussions, so therefore it's not the cleaner deal. It's a very complicated. Unless this is a 100% Sir Jim Rattcliffe trying to acquire 100% to buy out everyone, that's a different story. But the question is how he's going to do that. Is it taking so much time for him to go around to the different banks to rack up more credits, loans? This is something that we don't really want as fans. We don't want to see the red loans. Okay. So at the end of the day, people, I think that point number three here is that Sir Jim Rattcliffe would not overpay. He said it himself. The final bid was take it or leave it. Right? I think that media think that we are suffering of short memory span. It certainly feels like it. But if you do just go back in time, follow the trails, the dots, it's already there. You cannot rewrite history. History's there being printed already. Timeline 3 days ago, an article suggested that Jacobs in the podcast with David Hellier 92 holding increase from 5 to 6 again. So, guys, I don't know what you think, but this is kind of, for me, smells a little bit like a prop. Smells a little bit like a prop. It does. Why I'm saying it's a prop? Well, I want your opinion as well. At the end of the day, I'm presenting you with the two sides of the stories, and I want you to think. They'll let me know what you think. I think that they've been using Sir Jim Rattcliffe and Ineos as a prop. I think that we know that Ineos is not cash rich. We know that Ineos has a lot of assets, and we know they've been struggling to restructure the deal to meet the Glazers. Glazers want cash. They're in trouble. We've seen the protest happening with Buccaneers. That's hurting them even more financially. They can simply not stay. Okay? And you're telling me which one is the quickest deal? To wait for Sir Ratcliffe, to wait for him to restructure his deal to improve his bid? For me, sounds like a little bit of a prop to actually use Sir Jim Rattcliffe here to get what the Glazers want. We've seen reports that they want up to 10 billion even because of the value what they think the club might be worth. But what's the truth here? I pose the question, what is the truth? We seen 3 months ago that there was exclusivity, that this was the standing bid, 67 billion, right? And then they hold up due to the transfer market. And then we heard stories that within 2, 3 weeks, we're going to hear something. I kind of can't help myself to believe that this has been leaked out by the protests that happened yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't help it. I just simply can't help it. It's been printed all over Twitter now because once this been released, everyone is following. But you just have to apply logic and reasoning, and that's what I'm here for. This is my take on it, though. Whatever I say doesn't really have to be so, because at the end of the day, any bid of Manchester United to get the Glazers out is welcome. But we simply don't want any more debt. We want the club to be run properly, because with the Glazers currently staying, if they are, we will not get anywhere. We've seen the disrupt off the pitch is actually affecting on the pitch results as well. Everything that goes down from the CEO, from the board, goes all the way down to the dressing room and the mail room. If we want to be serious to compete, we need to have a proper structure. We need to have a proper vision, new stadium, new training grounds. We have 11 players almost, half a squad injured. What for? Because we don't have the right technology. It's out of date gym equipment. It's out of date stuff there, right? But you say you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Get the best, physios in there. But anyway, guys, that's just my opinion, to be honest, to be fair. Let me see what you guys are saying as well. I want to go back to the VR room. I want to address everyone that came in here today to say big up to you as well. Shout out what you guys are saying. Satwan Singh is saying, Rat, game over. Carlos is also thinking. Jarvis is here also, my co-host. Good afternoon to you, Jarvis, as well. How you doing? Billy Connolly is here. Afternoon, Jarvis, and afternoon, Mick, and all the VR room. Tommy Charlton is here. Say Glazers out, 100%. I agree with you. Green and gold until we announce and sold, and I do hope that it will happen very, very soon. Carlos, hi everyone, Mick, and of course Jason O'Brien. What you saying? Big up, guys. Glazers out, 100%. What are you saying, Yalim? I mean, for some reason, I think Sir Jim is getting the club now, not Qatar. We have not heard from them since the last bid. Well, let's talk about that as well. There's no need for them to go out and leak stuff out. They feel quite confident. And if we're gonna compare apples to apples, like Qatar is a country full of wealth, right? They can easily just go and overpay whatever Sir Jim Rattcliffe. If they want something, they will get it. You seen what happened to the World Cup, right? You see how they acquired PSG as well. So, but it's not the same state backed anyway. It's 92 holding. It's a conglomerate. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if you may compare, if you allow me to say, if you have Sir Jim Rattcliffe and you have the Ineos, both wants to buy this red Ferrari, beautiful red Ferrari called Manchester United, right? The thing is that Sir Jim Rattcliffe can afford to buy this Ferrari, but he cannot afford to fuel this Ferrari to run the whole race, 92, 62 laps, whatever. On the other hand, you have Sheikh Jassim, who can buy this Ferrari and can fuel it because he owns a fuel station as well. That's kind of an analogy the way I see it. But at any point, because nobody wants to really overpay, if you look at it, if you look at the Forbes evaluation, the club is valuated according to Forbes on 4.8 billion. So if you get a 7 billion bid, 6 billion bid, that's more than enough for the Glazers to walk out. With the current situation, Jarle, with the current situation when you have Buccaneers protesting, Buccaneers are in deep crisis as well, financial crisis, and United is well over 1 billion debt, and the Bank of America wants this debt to be repaid by 2025 latest. There's no more money, no more credit to give. They overexhausted all the credits. So if they're thinking that to wait, let's sit there and wait until we can milk out as much money, they're stupid. At the end of the day, we are in a financial recession. We are in a credit crisis. I believe they will take the bait at the end of the day. That's just my opinion. Paul Greaves, what are you saying, my friend? Glazers again trying to create a bidding war. Sir Jim Rattcliffe might be able to restructure his bid, but will probably be unable to increase his valuation. 100%. The club needs investment, not an owner short of cash. 100%. Absolutely spot on, Paul Greaves. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And, the cleaner bit here as well, and the point is the timeline, right? If you're going to come back and restructure and you got to shake off some assets because you don't have the liquidity, this is going to take you years to do, right? And in the current situation where the Glazers are going to be able, they want to cash in 100%. They need to cash in because at the end of the day, Paul, if you look at it from a Glazonomics perspective, you've been sitting there and partying in Miami, having VIP tables. You're having magnum bottles of Grey Goose, Dom Perignon, champagnes. You've been partying there for what, 18 months or 18 years, sorry, and just using your credit card. And that credit card is now being racked up for 1 billion. That's an expensive tab. But then you have somebody that's offering you to pay off your party bill, right? You had fun. Somebody will pay you off that debt. Plus, they will give you 1 billion each in your pocket, all the six siblings that have been sitting there partying for 18 years, to walk away with 1 billion each. You're telling me they would not take it? Oh, of course they would. They would just take it, snap it, and walk away if this is cash in hand, right? Because Cayman Island is tax free and they're registered in Cayman Island. So each six sibling then will then take their money and reinvest in something else. And the reason per se why it's taking so long, because you're dealing with six siblings, of course, and this is a multi-billion transaction. Uh, Certainly, I believe that something's going to happen. Muhammad Ali, what are you saying? Big up, Nick. Always the reasonable number on the sale. Smokescreen as usual. Knowing the Middle Eastern people, well, they don't like losing when it comes to money. 100% Muhammad Ali, somebody that speaks from the fact that comes from the region. And I also been living down in that region for over 10 years, to be honest. Billy Connolly, what you saying? If they're going to go with Sir Jim Rattcliffe, if it fails legal battles, 100%. So they will cave Yassim's offer because they are broke and they're trying to play games with us again. Yes, you are trying to sort of, you see what I'm trying to say, and at the end of the day, this is not me telling. This is more to apply, an educational platform. I want you guys to think. I want you to use your logic and sense, apply critical thinking, go back in time and do your research. Not this lazy journalist that just sits there and just listen to they might get some information from a junior source within the club that has got nothing to do with the sales takeover whatsoever. Unfortunately, this is the way it works. Any source is any source. You got to check with one, two, three, four, five sources if this is correct, right? Therefore, I respect David Ornstein that never tweets out anything until it's 100%. Aaron Benson hasn't really followed up either, but he backed up his story when he was attacked by all the British sports journalists. He backed himself up, and it was a Twitter war. It was a media war, right? On the other hand, I've seen this Hellier being like, running on different fan channels and speaking to different sports journalists. So I've just questioned what is your agenda, and have you been paid off to say certain things? Big up, Peter. How are you doing? 100%. Jarvis Cockers, what you saying, my friend? Ineos bid is dead. We've been saying that, Jarvis, for quite a while since we've been holding up this fort, Jarvis. They can't afford to overpay. You're 100% correct. Even Sir Jim Rattcliffe said it, like, I will not overpay. It's clear and there. It's stated. He will not overpay. And they will never get approved by their board according to what you're saying. It's economical irresponsible for the business and the organization. Therefore, they cannot conclude this. It's over for them. So why are they entertaining this then? Jarvis, I bait the question. Why are they entertaining with such a story on the back end of everything else? On the back end of this, right? This was yesterday. Think. And today we have this. Then today we have these stories, right? just think about it, people, and apply your logics and sense at the end of the day. Like, I just I just want us as a community to have a discussion. Hello, Mick, how are you? Very fine, sir. How are you doing? We are playing football today. Good afternoon, Bestie. How are you doing, my friend, as well? Ergon, sirs. Hi, Mick. As you said, it's Raycled repeated renews. We told months ago that new stock exchange shareholders were not happy with the structuring of the deal and threatened to legal action. 100%. So why are they trying to do this? Are they treating us fan base like we know nothing? Like, because one thing that we learned here over this sales takeover, everyone is becoming a financial expert. Everyone is following the stock exchange. Everyone knows the terminology. I've been holding the fort here for 10 months doing educational podcasts. And God, where we are now as a fan base, it's amazing. We as a fan base has discovered that media has an agenda against Manchester United, but no more. I'm not going to mention any names, but we got to get this stopped. We've been trying to tell this that the Glazenomics works. Like, they want to throw the manager on the bus if we're not failing, right? And there was even saying like, okay, because we are not performing so good on the pitch, the price will drop. Got nothing to do with it. You're talking about the evaluation of the club, what it's worth, and what's your bid. Got nothing to do with the current performance. Yeah. Anyway, I just want to come in to sort of express myself. Rushmano is here as well. What would this stream without being my favorite Rushmano? Sir Jim Rattcliffe restructuring tells me he can't improve his bid, but yet Sheikh Jassim can, though. Just a matter of time for me. When Rushmano speaks, we listen. 100%, my friend. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you, Rushmano. That's just a little bit cool and composed. Facts, facts, facts. What are you saying now, Rushmano? The Glazers staying in any capacity is not an option for you. It's not even an option for them either, because they kick the can as further as you can. We've seen all the financial reports, right? We've seen in the transfer market that were utilizing the line of credit. By the way, which was the last line of credit given from Bank of America. The overdraft is no more, right? Overdraft. Are we going to live on overdraft? And if Sir Jim Rattcliffe comes in, again, he's been running around for J.P. Morgan's, Bank of America, every credit institution to say, "Can you loan me the money?" Well, just hang on a second. We are in the biggest financial bank crisis situation, credit crisis situation. Nobody's going to loan you out the money. This risk capital, right? If the Glazers think they can sit there to 2025 and cash in, then we're going to be broke. And the number of numerous money that's been spent on lawyers that's taking a daily retainer. They're not cheap. Both parties, all the bidders, have spent so much money and resources for this bidding process for free to get the price. So keep your eyes on the price. That's what it is. And I certainly believe that we will hear something within, well, at least in October, some rumblings coming out who is the winner. Because I've been saying all along that Sheikh Jassim is the winner. Nothing more, nothing less. But that's just my opinion. Good afternoon, Ashid. How are you, my friend? Good afternoon to all of you. Be Evo Bossage. Same old news, nothing new. 100%. You guys are spotting it. You're the special one is here as well. Mourinho, how you doing? They can make more by not selling. Yeah, but the question is they can. But we can't afford them. They cannot afford to stay anymore. I'm a financial I wouldn't say an expert, but I do understand trading. I do understand finance, investments. I'm a business owner myself, many things. But even I know that if a good deal is on the table and somebody's offering to pay up my debts as well, plus giving me extra money to walk away, hell, I take that, to be honest. Kenny Fan TV all the way from Australia, and Evo was from Australia. Big up Peps. Ratcliffe won't win this bid. No, I don't think so either. Just the fact that once the Middle Eastern come, even if it's UAE, Qatar, they'll come in, they will definitely not lose. That's the thing. Unless the Glazers decide we will not sell. But I don't think they will sell. What's you saying, Rushmano, as well? This report from Jim Bid was 2 weeks ago. Report of new Qatari bid was actually the new news. Yes. Good that you spotted that. Finally, somebody that's paying attention. This one was 2 days ago. I reported on this one as well, where they said that he might prop up his bid to 6 billion. Well, then if you go back, the same reports 3 months ago to say that the final bid was 6 to 7 billion. So what's it going to be? I'm confused there because all of a sudden the 5 billion to put in another 6. What a mess. Big up Rushmano. I totally agree with you, my friend. What you're saying here, the news was don't discount a new Qatari bid. Yeah, it might be so. Anyway, we are actually playing a game today. So somebody saying, you think Hannibal will start? I saw a picture of this match today. Yeah, listen, we got to rotate the squad today. We got to give some players some rest because we have an injury crisis. And this is by the Glazers that are investing in proper physios and training grounds. It's so old that even Ronaldo that came back, was slagging it off in front of Piers Morgan to say nothing has changed. I was in shock, he said. Actually, Ronaldo was right. But the only thing that he was wrong was to go to Piers Morgan. Neil Driscoll is saying 2-0 to United tonight. Oh, well, I think it's going to be a slapping. I think it's going to be 3-0 to United. But a 2-0. What did Billy Connolly say? Now we're finishing on a positive note. Now we're talking football. 2-0. Man United is not the big dog now. No, that's the thing, Irfan. I agree with you. Like, we got to stop living in the past, and write our new story because we used to be the glory and now we're just becoming a story, right? So we need to turn this page. And the only way we can do that is to sort of get the new ownership and back. Just be a sporting club, right? To be a sporting club, not a business. This hurts my feelings. We used to be a glory club, but what Sir Alex used to do, we've been trying to replicate and haven't succeeded. We hired astute managers, with the pedigree winning CV, Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, serious winners. That didn't work out. That did not work out. Why? It didn't matter which manager you put in place. You can even have Pep Guardiola there, Jurgen Klopp, whoever. They will fail because they're not getting the backing and support. It's broken, right? It's broken. If you don't have any company or organization or club, if you don't have a proper structure in place and the same vision and a project, you will fail. The communication link there is failed, right? You, on the other hand, that sits on the bottom of that pyramid, which is football operation, you want to win and compete. These people on top of you, they don't want to win. They want us just to cash in money. Top 4 maximum, okay? If we get top 4, extra revenues. That's been the repeating cycle. 100%, guys. So anyway, big up all of you. Rebbe Bakir, I can see you. Smash a like, please. Don't forget to smash a like. We are on 16,900 subscribers. We are on a road to 17. If we can get 100 more subscribers by the end of the week, I'll be super happy to get up to 17. So please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video and to this channel if you are new as well. It is me as well. What are you saying, Rushman? In my experience, when rich people sell an asset, normally they are relaxed and professionally. Just think how Glazers run this sell. Chaotic and very unprofessional. They're totally skinned, 100%. It's a game. It's a waiting game. If you're Sheikh Jassim, you don't make any more noise. You put in a substantial bid. There was well-reported document that went the kitchen door. The surpassed Rain Group and Joe Revich to say we're tired of this shadow bidding. What is that you want? Okay, is it 6 billion, 7 billion? No problem. Boom, here it is. Take it, leave it. Let's make a deal. Shake, good. Okay. At the end of the day, you have also the Rain Group. The investor bankers are working for free. They're working on certain percent of commission. They are dying and desperate because they've been working on this for 10 months. They want the commission as well. Money talks. But anyway, guys, I'm just rumbling along. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for coming as well. Alien Teno, what you're saying, who's your starting 11 today is the new goalkeeper, Lindelof, Evans, Varane, Dalot, Amrabat, Hannibal, Eriksson, Garnacho, Pelistri, Hoyland. Wow. That's a good team. Are you going for the game, Peter? I hope you are. Yeah, definitely looking forward to see the new goalkeeper, Bandair, Antai. Lindelof, will he start or will he get rested? Evans and Varane. So wait a minute. So you having Lindelof to play as a fullback and Amrabat as a CDM, Hannibal as a number 8, Ericsson as number 10. Good lineup. I like it. I definitely like it. Donny to start as well. Don't forget we have Donny van de Beek. Good stuff. Good that you picked up. He was on the bench last time we played, by the way. So Donny might give a start as well as a number 10. That'd be interesting. I haven't seen Donny for a while. Mark is saying start 5 youth players. At least they were practice for this cup during the preseason. 100% they did. Captain Johnny Evans. Yeah, what a remarkable story, Johnny Evans. 35 years of age. Never dreamed to come back to the club since he left 2015. And the post-match interview, he was buzzing like a kid on Christmas. Oh my God. That's culture for you, right? It's always good to have that leader in the dressing room. Sometimes somebody that come in that understands that will fight for the badge, right? Milos Mitic, what you saying? Dobar dan, Milos. Qatar BB Oscar. Yeah, yep. 6 milliard, 7. Yeah. He's saying this Qatar is already 67 billion. It's well documented and reported. Anyway, Simon here, and big up to hear you as well, my friend. How you doing? Thank you for chatting to me yesterday, late last night. I'm well awake and drinking coffee. You must have been just freshly woken up. All the way from USA, Simon Heron, smash a like, big up. Donny hasn't kicked the ball competitively in about 4 months. He won't be playing. Yeah, but he kicked in the preseason, didn't he? That was that 4 months ago? Oh my God, time flies, Simon. A7K Qatar in United 247. I'm going to tweet my starting 11 in 2 minutes, Mick. I'll tag you in. Please do so. Tag me in your starting 11. We did one match preview yesterday. I don't care who starts. Like, play the kids, and rest certain players. Bruno needs a rest as well, like. But I doubt they will rest Bruno. Bruno plays every game. Let's see what Rushman is saying. Donny can do one for me. He turned down an easy possible option to move, even told indirectly, not part of his plans. How much is that truth? Maybe I don't know. Maybe you know. Man United fan have a lot of money. Well, yes. VIP R337. IDK, why do you think Qatar would save the club for me? They would destroy it like they did with PSG. You're confusing UAE City and Saudi's Crystal Palace with Qatari investors. They're shite. Well, that's your opinion, my friend. And if that's your opinion, I do respect. But for somebody that lived in the region for 10 years, that knows everything about the region, been doing business and advisory for the Qataris, the royal group families, I wouldn't say so, right? And why would they destroy it? And on the other hand, my friend, as well, to correct you, PSG is not the same owners as 92 Holding Foundation. That's state-backed, QSI, if you remember. But they are turning the tide, by the way. They are restructuring there as well, PSG, if you haven't followed, right? So no more galactical signings. They thought that the winning model was basically just to throw in big names the way Manchester United did. You recognize the story, my friend. But arguably to say that I also purchased PSG to get the requirements to get the Qatar World Cup as well. But times are changing, my friend. But big up for you, my friend, and hope you're doing well. And let me know what your score prediction is as well. Let me see. We're talking mixed about game today. We're talking about Qatar revolutionize the club. We look at the World Cup, so bring back to the every top. But at the end of the day, as long as somebody just comes in with the right vision, we've seen the manifesto, right? To put the best in class people in, to have a project. Like, you look at City as a benchmark. They're a well-run club. And by the way, though, of course, they have 115 allegations, charges of propping up the sponsorship deal. But we don't need to have that. We're the biggest club in the world. We just need somebody to clear the debt up. We can be sustainable on our own operational and actually invest in the infrastructure. So whoever comes in at the end of the day needs to spend minimum 10 billion, right? First of all, you need to clear the debt. You need to pay the Glazers out. And then you have to fix everything that's been broken or build a new stadium. We're talking about 12 billion up to 15 billion that you have to invest. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And then you can ask, do Ineos have that kind of cash to do so? If you compare it to Qatar. Yeah, if you look at Qatar, they build 11 stadiums out of nothing just for the event. And now they're going to demolish them or send them, build even stadiums out of containers, shipping containers. So what does that make sense to you then? They will not walk away, simply as that. That's my opinion. Anyway, Jarvis Cocker, what you say? You're right. It's not about the money, but it sure helps, 100%. Big up everyone. Big up RJ. Smash a like, please. Do not forget to like and subscribe because I'm about to close the shop. A7K Jim Rattcliffe can't fix us. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for coming in here, Raw, and having your say. At the end of the day, it's just been me having my rant and say, and just basically what we have done here is just to depack the stories, looking at comparing notes, if we might summarize. This came out 3 days ago with Ben Jacobs, and the same reporter from David Hellier from Bloomberg, that's British made, and also comparing what comes out now today with Sir Jim Rattcliffe on the back end of a protest that was yesterday in Tampa. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in so much. Appreciate you. Hopefully, we will have a good game tonight. We will come back later on for the next video. We will do a post-match reaction with myself and hopefully Jay Daly and Botswana Papi and Jarvis Cocker if he's around. Guys, it's been Mick Ruby from MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe and get us to 100 more subscribers so we can reach the 17,000K. Thank you for watching, and we shall see you to the next one. Bye for now.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.